To further the subject of confidence intervals, we're going to take a look at what we call z-critical values. Remember that we use z generally when we're talking about normal distributions. So looking at this bell-shaped curve here, we saw early in the course that the 95% rule states that 95% of the values approximately are within about 2 standard deviations of the mean in any bell-shaped curve. If that distribution is exactly normal, then we can get a little more specific than 2 standard deviations of the mean. We can see from this picture here that if that's the center 95%, it looks like we go from negative 1.96 to positive 1.96, which means that 95% of the values are within 1.96 standard deviations of the mean. And we call that 1.96 a z-critical value which we often refer to as z star, because rather than being a z-score from a particular calculation, it's a critical cutoff value. We call it z star for 95%. So looking at these two curves down here, we can see that the first one seems to correspond to a 90% confidence interval because we have the center 90%, and that our critical value is 1.645. Then when we look at 99%, we can see that it looks like everything is within 2.575 standard deviations of the mean, and therefore for a 99% confidence level, we would have a z-star critical value of 2.575. Now, just a minor little note, you will find more frequently the value 2.576 showing up in tables. For whatever reason, StatKey, with its rounding, just was giving me 2.575 for this particular question. So the way that these z-star critical values are used is to allow us to find confidence intervals for confidence levels other than 95%, still using an estimate of standard error instead of using that percentiles method. This is what's going to free us from the bootstrap distribution. In summary, we have here a table with the 3 z-star critical values that we're going to need on tests. I won't ask you to find a confidence interval that's any confidence level other than 90%, 95%, or 99%, so you will be given this table on tests to use to refer to.